Hi guys, KK Kyle here with another how-to video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a full character hack on Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker for the PlayStation Portable. I am using custom firmware for this, mainly because my UMD drive doesn't work anymore and I'm not paying the money to buy a new console because Sony did a shite job making the original ones. So this was originally designed and created by Dinesy16 and Jezza Boi. Few slight problems. They use 5F to modify the stats on the character. For some reason that didn't work with my copy of the game and I had to use 5.5. So if any point not part of this guide does not work for you, use 5F instead of 5.5 basically. So without further ado, here's my stat hack guide. Now, I went through a lot of trouble of tracking down what each individual line did, what each number did, and this is all it is. This is all here, basically, in Notepad, readily available. I'm going to upload this to MegaUpload. I'll put the link in the description somewhere. But first of all, a lot of people said this doesn't work, and I'm basically making this video to prove them wrong. So, here we go. If I press X, go into the character selection, in my waiting room I've placed good old Alligator. You get this guy, he's one of the first characters that you get. I'm using NightPR to mod the code, so if I press the minus and plus volume buttons, it brings up this. You press start to get rid of that. Go down to searcher and find text. Now all we've got to do is input his name. And then search for it. So it's one of these two, because it's always OX00 then 54. So it's one of these two. I've got a funny feeling it's the top one, so I'll just copy that. I always do this from the top line, by the way, and just paste it. Right, so there is one way to check to see if this is the character that we're looking for. On O4, on line 2, you'll have 11 for a male character and 10 for a female. We're going to just knock this down to 10, exit, press triangle, and you'll see his gender at the top there is changed to female. That means it's the right one. So if I go back to the browser, I can change that back to 11, and he's back to being male again. I'm going to do this line by line so you can see what everything does. So we go back to the browser, and if you look at the top left here on my screen, you'll see that the full top line here is for the name. Now a lot of people say that, oh, that's not true, you can only use as many letters as what the character originally had. That's a load of bollocks, don't listen, you can use the full line. Right, so we're going to go down to line 2, O1 on line 2, and I've put JB. JB basically means job, so I've put a list further down in my walkthrough of the jobs and what they do. If you look here, I've unlocked a few that weren't originally available or that people don't know about yet, because I actually was sad enough to go through the entire code list. But here we go. Number 54, Fox Unit Member. That's one I've yet to see anybody produce online. So we'll just change that to 54. And there, his job's changed to Fox Unit Member. So we go back into the browser, and O4 is MF, male or female, 11 being male, 10 being female, and from 08 to 08, if I change these down to 5.5, remember, if 5.5 doesn't work for you, use 5F. This should change his GMP to 5.9s, which is all cool. Now, I haven't done a list of faces yet, but OC to OF is character face. If I just change this to 3, you'll notice that his face changes. And if I go back and change it back down to 2, he'll have his original face back. So yeah, if you want a specific face, you don't need a database to do it. You just find a character with a face that you like, put in their name, find them like I did with Alligator, write down their face code, which is line 2, OC to OF, and input that in to the character that you want, and there you go. The only thing I can't change on a character at the moment is where it says military soldier and the text that says thanks for the Costa Rican coffee, best I ever tasted. Those are the only two things I cannot change. So find a character with the text that you like, and most of them will say military soldier anyway. So yeah. So going back, we're going to go down to line 3 now, and we're going to start off on 05. If I put 05 back up to 55, now you'll notice he has 49 HP. And further along that line, always leave 09 on 00. I think that's got something to do with the sickness, and it's never good because your character will be obviously put in the sick bay. If I knock OC down to 55 and OD to 55, those are his side key basically. So yeah, following my guide, you can see down here on the left hand side what these numbers mean. I go through it line by line, and let's look at line 4, 01 and 03 to the stat value of 55. So line 4, 01 and 03 to the stat value of 55, and now he's got a run speed of S rank, which is just here. So yeah, I mean, all of these stats are basically labelled here, and what they do, if you only want a specific stat raised, you can do that, that's fair enough. But I mean, let's have a look at this line here, line 8. Line 8, 08 to OB. Now that's 4 hex codes, 08, 09, 08 and OB. And what they do is they change the character's skill slots. These. Now, they don't go in any particular order unless you fill all 4 at once. So, I mean, you could fill in 09 before 08, and basically, if you put something in 08, it'll just put it in order. I mean, you don't have to put them in any specific order, but I have put a list of the jobs, the skills that you might use. I've also put a list of the skill effects, scrolling down here, and my recommendation at the bottom of what skills are good for a mission, stuff like that, and then eventually the credits obviously. But I mean, let's look at this, the skill list. If I press circle and go back to my browser, go to 08, I'm on the 4th line now, so I go down another 4 lines. He's already got 06, which is engineering. So I mean, let's give him, I don't know, 02. Then 03. What else can we give him? Let's give him OC and OE. OC and OE. And now you notice he's got all 4 skill slots done. But I mean, I don't want you to take my word that this is 100% working. If I go back to the browser, I can now go back up here and show you that these stat lines do actually work. So we've done line 1, line 2, line 3, so we need line 4, which is this line here. We've done the first 2 with 55, I just finish off the rest of this here. And exit. You'll notice that a lot of his stats have gone up to S. Notice that his combat skill has only gone up to rank A. Combat is the only one that's affected by two different lines, which is basically explained down here. Line 4 OD and OF to 5.5 and line 5 O1 to 5.5 will put his combat up. So if I go down to line 5 O1 and put that to 5.5, you'll notice now that his combat's on S rank. And so is something else, but that's beside the point. So if we just go back and finish off these, and the last thing I want to do is get blamed for ripping off other people's ideas, but I honestly can't remember half the people who I got this information from. So I'm very sorry if I've used this and you've created it. But to be fair, none of the information was all in one place, and all of this shite about having to register at forums and stuff like that, and information not being available till you've been a member for so long or done so many posts, is a load of shit. In all fairness, it is fucking bollocks. People see it and try to get you to sign up to their forums to try and make their forums just that little bit more popular. So I wanted to show you this, where you can use it free of charge, and that's pretty much it. I will upload this notepad document to MegaUpload, and at some point I will be doing a full face database with their codes. But for now, I want you to notice that this orange bar here, I can't raise that fully. I don't know why, but I can't. But that is their morale, basically. If you have someone with, say, Miller or Amanda, who raises morale in their group, that bar will eventually fill up. Now, if you notice on my skill list, down here, I've actually got Amanda's skill, which is the FSLN Commandante, and Miller's skill, the Mother Base Deputy Commander, available. So you can put that on a couple of characters and have them, basically one character in each thing, combat unit, R&D, mess hall, and sickbay and intel, or whatever, to basically boost morale in all of your areas on your base. And that's pretty much it, really. I mean, well, no, that really is it. That's all the information I have. Good luck using this. As I say, you need Remote Joy Lite version 0.9, 0.19. You need custom firmware. I'm using 550 Prometheus 4, if anyone's wondering. A lot of people say that you can't use Remote Joy Lite with that, and I'm obviously using it. You can use it to a certain degree, especially with Peace Walker. It crashes on loading up screens, it crashes pretty much every way it can. And that's it. Good luck with that, guys.